Hey everybody out there in the void, Phoebe Rizzo here again, and yeah, it's gone. Anyway, so I dug deep into my pile of Dollar Tree movies and found one with an attractive cover, so it at least caught my attention. The Music Box, a 2018 Italian film, still filmed in English, but there's some, but set I'm not really sure where it's set. Like, they talk about measurements in square meters, but everyone speaks English, so not really clear on where this is supposed to be happening. Anyway, but Italian movie, but English speaking. And yeah. So when you find a movie like this, one of the first questions is, does the cover have anything to do with the content? There's plenty of times you'll find movies where it doesn't, like, something, whatever is shown has nothing to do with the film. This one, not too far off. The ghost there, a little too big, but otherwise, okay. That is pretty an adequate picture of what's going on with this film. Now, I was watching it, and it started seeming really familiar to me. Not because I've seen this movie before, but because I've seen this movie before. It's very similar to the 2012 film, The Possession. Except for The Possession was a very good film. This one, not so much. Okay, so it's not the worst film I've reviewed on this, but it ain't really have too much going for it. I will say, its opening scene, decently effective. Past that, we start getting problems. Bad CG ghost, one of them. Okay, so, plotline. So, a mother, well, actually, then a woman and her niece move into a house. Now they're just moving in together because the little girl's parents recently passed away, and so she's sort of traumatized, doesn't speak, and is just coming to get used to her new guardian. While settling into a creepy house, and doing a bit of gardening, the kid, who's I think 6, stumbles upon a buried item. They dig it up, a box with a strange symbol on it, pop that sucker open, and inside's a music box. They keep referring to it as something else. I couldn't quite make it out. Like carousel. It's not quite carousel, but something similar to that. I think it's the term for a music box over there. I can't quite recall what it was now, but anyway, but it's the titular music box. Now, and as it goes from there, the music box starts playing whenever the girl walks it. She keeps it with her, and essentially, the longer she's staring into it, the more creepy things happen. I was just quickly looking up there. Carillon, that's what they call it. The Carillon is also an alternate title for the movie. It has several different names, also known as The Haunting of Sophie, which is the little girl's name, but both the music box and the Carillon are the primary titles. Sidetracked. Sorry about that. Anyway. Once, now the girl, because she's traumatized, is seeing a therapist named Loris, Dr. Loris, and he, while realizing there's some behavioral differences that are occurring since this happened, videotapes one of their sessions and sees something strange, and from that, it's how do we get this ghost away from the little girl before something terrible happens. Alright. The movie does have some strengths. It does do some pacing okay. When it's trying to do a creepy atmosphere. It doesn't do it badly. It does do some suspense okay, particularly in the opening. And some bits where where you're just waiting for the ghost to show up and you know it's somewhere. There's some creepy imagery. Okay. The CG ghost, not the greatest. Wow, that's a bad glare. Something to that effect there. And it's a ghost of a little girl who is essentially trying to lure this other child away. So that's its strengths. First off, the problem is I'd rather be watching The Possession, which is about a young girl, a bit older than this one, who finds an antique music box at a yard sale, opens it up, and begins obsessing over it, and while a spirit inside tries to possess her. Sound familiar? Now that one deals with, I believe, Jewish folklore and the concept of a Dybbuk. This movie is essentially just a ghost doing things because she wants a new mommy, and they find all this out through plot devices. Much more convenience. Okay, so first off, the acting in this film is not good. But, to be fair, there's some caveats with that. Now, like I said, it's an Italian film, and several of the characters have some bad Italian, bad isn't the right term, some Italian accents. And I can tell that sometimes they're having problems acting through their accent. Like, it's clearly not their first language that they're trying to act in, which can be difficult. Like, for example, one girl, I think it's a coworker of our main girl, Annabelle. Annabelle's the main girl. Her coworker's name is, I think, Eva. Anyway, Eva, like, she emotes very well on her face, and her body language is good. But whenever her line delivery comes up, there's just always something a little stilted or off. And I think that's just because she's not sure where to emphasize certain parts. Dr. Loris is even worse. But again, I think that's because of the language. I could be wrong, so I'm giving it a little bit of a pass. Now, the little girl. Usually, child actors have a problem. They're either too much, not enough, or it's hard to do to get them right. This girl does fine through the first half of the movie, when she doesn't speak. When she has to just react to things silently or do her actions, she's fine. When she starts talking, oh no. Her line delivery is not good either. And how they find most of this out is convenience. I can accept that they've dug up this box in this yard because a psychic who sealed the ghost away, essentially, lived here before. Fine. But, Annabelle works as a book, in book restoration, and one of the books she happens to be trying to restore just pops open to the symbol on there, and it's a book about possessions. So she just happens to have the exact book she needs to start following the breadcrumbs. And that's a dead end. But her coworker, when she asks about the book, okay, is it then? Well, first off, they find out that her coworker helps her determine that yes, this book was checked out by the same person who used to live in your house. Fine, I can accept that part. But her coworker just happens to know another psychic lady in the neighborhood who, hey, maybe she can help. And it's just, there's a few too many convenient things just keep popping up. I do appreciate that they, when presented with evidence, that both the parent and the psychiatrist don't dispute it and just go with it, like, okay, there's something weird here. Okay, good. That is good. That works. But also trying to shoehorn in a romance between the Doctor and Annabelle is really awkward. I mean, I can tell she's freaked out and trying to cling to him, and he kind of pushes her away. Okay, that makes sense. But then he starts awkwardly reciprocating, and it doesn't get any better. So, despite the good suspense that this movie can sometimes maintain, it has a lot of things dinging its score down. Mostly because the entire time, I'd just be rather watching The Possession, which does almost the exact story better. Two MacGuffins is, I think, what I'm warranting this one. It has enough to... I wasn't bored, but I kept drawing comparisons to a better film, and that's not where you want to go. A movie that came out 6 years before this one had better effects, better acting, better cast, better budget. It was worth the $1 I paid for it, I guess. But otherwise, give this one a pass. Watch The Possession. Much better. Good night, everybody.